Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus here again. Well, you've had your first day of the Mueller'S report in regards to the conduct of the Russians engaged in the process of this campaign, 2016, and President Trump as far as one of obstruction of justice. Now, the truth of the matter is, if you're a Republican, you're basically holding on to the same views you held on to in the beginning. If you're a Democrat, you're holding on to the same ones you held on. And each of you think that you had a winning hand out of this response. What I want to talk to you today is about the devil in the details. My message is to the American people. What we have here is Democrats stating all of the ugly things, evil things, those things that are against the law that Trump participated in and his campaign participated in during this presidential election. And you have the Republicans trying to say, you got nothing. What you have here, ladies and gentlemen, is the truth, if you can see it. And that truth involves this. You have what we call the devil in the details. When President Trump, as he was at the time called Trump, started seeking office, the whole nation knew what kind of person he was. All of the candidates that were seeking the nomination for the Republican Party told America that he was a snake. The Democrats knew that he was a snake. But what happened was the American people, especially those who were suffering, they had trusted in the Republican Party. They had seen the results of the Democratic Party. And it didn't matter who was in office, they ended up in the same situation. The Democrats felt that they were in the situation, those who were suffering, because of the politics of the day. They didn't trust the Republicans because the Republicans were responding in such a way that left them out. The Republicans, they didn't trust the Republicans because the Republicans left them out, and they didn't trust the Democrats because it appears as if the Democrats left them out as well. And so, while they had an opportunity to engage themselves in the political process again, they did not trust, the Republicans did not trust the Democrats or the Republicans. So they looked for an outsider. They looked for whatever was different. And the only thing that was truly different, you had Republican candidates still standing on Republican platforms. You had Democratic candidates still standing on Democratic platforms. And the Republicans knew that in that situation, regardless who won, they were going to still be left out. So they decided to go with Trump, someone who said he was not a part of the establishment, someone who said he was a billionaire made on his own, and he didn't like other people that were not white. Now, the people who went for Trump, they thought that was excellent because they were raised up to dislike other colors as well, other races as well, blacks and others. They were raised that way. They were taught that the reason that they suffer is because blacks were responsible for taking up what was theirs. And get rid of the blacks, and all of the stuff that you are missing now will be yours. So Trump sounded wonderful to them. Trump sounded like a God sent to them. Even those in the church, the fundamentalists and the evangelicals went over there because they were thinking the same thing. They were thinking it all along. And what you had, ladies and gentlemen, in American political process, you had nothing about righteousness. You had nothing about goodness. You had nothing about the divine. You had nothing about God. And I'm not just talking about this campaign in the presidential campaign of 2016. I'm talking about since the beginning of time for America, 200 years. Nobody really talked about God except what they say in the pledge, what they said in a song. In reality, God has no hand in anything, even in the church. They weren't talking about God. They talk about some stuff about somebody dying and maybe going to heaven, or somebody coming back and saving somebody. They never got a chance to hear God being implied within the situations of life in our daily life. And so they were just out there. So what you saw today was Democrats trying to say you were told there was a snake coming. We are identifying the activities of that snake. Now, the Republicans did not try to denounce whether the snake was there or whether the snake perpetuated these acts identified by the Democrats. What they were trying to say is, why did you go there? You shouldn't have gone there. Your mandate had nothing to do with going there. So what they were actually saying in essence is, yes, he might have been a devil, but that was okay. That's what the people voted for, was a devil. Democrats were saying, well, not necessarily so, because he's working against us. And there was what? There was a division between the Republicans and the Democrats, a continued division which is representative of what the devil comes to do, to divide and conquer, to go back and forth over the earth to see whom he can conquer or destroy. And you saw it in plain context today. The devil in the details. And so this is what I'm saying to you, the American people, Republicans and Democrats alike, whether you can't stand each other. I do know this about each of you. Each of you want peace. Each of you want freedom. Each of you want prosperity. Each of you want joy in your life. And that will be made by the fulfillment of your dreams. Republicans, Democrats, blacks and whites, men and women, old folks and children. And you're not going to get it in this system of government. It's not going to happen. You will be divided. You will be setting up with guns, killing each other. Just like in the Civil War, before you can ever get close to what I just got through sharing with you. And even then, it won't happen. In the Civil War, it didn't happen. Excuse me. And it would not happen now. Why? Because you're still practicing those same principles of destruction led by Satan. Now, if you want to get on a good foot, go back and check out some of my videos, Eddie Marcus, and I guarantee you I will share with you that each of them bring you to a point to understand the truth of the message that I've just given to you right now. Republicans and Democrats. But I also want you to think today is the 23rd, I believe. Look at the video that's going to come out Friday or Saturday of this week, 23rd, 24th, 25th or 26th. And I'm going to give you a detailed package, a detailed message of how those things can happen in your life. You don't have to be divided anymore. You don't have to hate. You don't have to be a racist. You don't have to be a bigot. You don't have to be broke. You don't have to hurt. You don't have to be on welfare. You don't have to be a victim of reverse affirmative action. You can live the almighty life that the Creator, that you can't see, can't touch, can't feel, but speaks through this voice here, and others that you have been cut off from hearing. And if you exercise those basic principles, your dream will begin to come true. I want to thank you so very much for listening to this, The Devil in the Details of Mueller'S National Presentation. Bye-bye.